Hi everyone, let's be honest. Life is not shaped by what we do once. Life is shaped by what we do again and again. The words you repeat to yourself, the thoughts you think every day, the actions you take regularly, these are the things that quietly shape who you become. You don't need a big change overnight. You need small steps, repeated daily. Because in the end, you become what you repeat. My name is Muniba Mazari, and I am a motivational speaker. If you like this content, then you can appreciate me by like, subscribe, and comments. Now, move on to the topic. The loudest voice in the room is not always outside. Most of the time, it lives inside your own head, and sadly, that voice isn't always kind. It tells you that you're not good enough. It whispers that you can't make it. It reminds you of every past mistake and failure, like a broken record. But what if I told you that this voice, this constant self-doubt, is not the truth? It's the biggest lie you've been believing for far too long. We all grow up in a world that teaches us to fit in, to be careful, to not dream too big. And somewhere between trying to please everyone and fearing judgment, we start losing belief in ourselves. We look in the mirror and see someone who almost made it, someone who could have done it. But here's the truth. That version of you who dreams, who wants more, who hopes, that is the real you. And that version is still alive, still breathing, still waiting for you to stop doubting and start believing. You see, self-doubt doesn't start with failure. It starts with fear. The fear of not being enough. The fear of being judged. The fear of failing again. But what we don't realize is that the only thing standing between who we are and who we want to be is us. The world will always have opinions. People will always have something to say. But the most dangerous thing is when you start believing those opinions more than you believe in your own ability. There are people less talented than you, doing the things you dream of, simply because they believed they could. And here you are, full of ideas, full of potential, but stuck. Because you keep questioning yourself. Every time you say, "What if I fail?" try asking, "What if I fly?" What if you succeed? What if you surprise yourself? What if the only thing holding you back was the fear that doesn't even belong to you? You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. The fact that you're breathing right now, the fact that you're still listening, still standing, that is your proof that you still have a purpose. Don't let self-doubt steal your story. Don't hand your dreams to fear. Sometimes, the people who doubt you the most are the ones who gave up on themselves a long time ago. Don't let their broken courage become your limitation. You are not here to play small. You are not here to shrink, to fit in someone else's box. You are here to grow, to rise, to stretch into everything you were meant to be. And even if no one believes in you right now, you must. Because belief is the seed of every success story. Without belief, you will never start. Without belief, you will keep quitting halfway. But with belief, even the impossible starts to look like a challenge worth accepting. So the next time your mind tries to convince you that you can't, pause, take a deep breath, and remember this. That voice is fear, not truth. And fear doesn't get to make your decisions anymore. You do. You are capable, you are worthy, and yes, you absolutely can. You often wait for the perfect moment, the big breakthrough, that one big opportunity that will change everything. But life doesn't work like that. Greatness isn't built in a day. It's built in the quiet hours, in the small decisions, in the effort that nobody sees. It's built when you wake up tired, but still choose to try. It's built when you fail, but still choose to show up. One small step at a time. We underestimate the power of small steps because they don't look impressive. They don't look like success. But behind every person who made it, there are thousands of tiny actions no one ever saw. Every early morning, every late night, every time they kept going when it was easier to give up. That's what made the difference. You don't have to do everything in one day. You don't need to fix your life overnight. You just need to take one small step today and then take another one tomorrow. Progress is not about speed, it's about direction. You might be moving slowly, but as long as you're moving forward, you are growing. Think about it. A tree doesn't grow overnight. It starts with a seed, then it takes water, sunlight, and time. Days pass, seasons change, and one day, it becomes strong enough to face any storm. That's how your growth works too. You might not see results today, but something is happening inside you. Your mindset is changing, your habits are shifting, your confidence is building. And all of that started with one decision: to take a step. There will be days when your steps feel useless, when nothing seems to change, when you feel stuck. But those are the days that matter the most. Because showing up when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's painful, that's real strength. That's the kind of discipline that turns dreams into reality. You don't need a 10-year plan. You need a plan for today. Just today. What can you do today that moves you closer to your goal? Maybe it's writing one page. Maybe it's applying for that job. Maybe it's speaking up when you used to stay quiet. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for the mistakes you made and deciding to start again. That's your step. And it counts. You see, when you commit to small steps, something beautiful happens. You build trust with yourself. You prove to yourself that you can show up, that you can be consistent. And that self-trust becomes unshakable. It becomes the foundation of everything else. One day, you'll look back and realize that those tiny steps were actually the big ones. You'll see how far you've come. Not because you had all the answers, but because you kept going. While others were waiting for motivation, you were building discipline. While others were chasing perfection, you were choosing progress. And that's why you'll succeed. So don't wait for a miracle. Don't wait for a sign. The sign is already inside you. The miracle is you choosing to move forward when no one is watching. even when no one claps, even when nothing changes right away. Take that step today, no matter how small it seems. It's not about how fast you move. It's about not giving up. One step, then another. That's how you win. Everything you do starts in your mind. Before you take an action, before you speak a word, before you even try, your mind has already made a choice. That is why your mindset is more powerful than your situation. Your mindset can either build you or break you. You can be in the most difficult environment, but if your mind is strong, you will still find a way forward. And at the same time, you can have everything: support, opportunities, even talent. But if your mind is filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, you always feel stuck. The way you think shapes the way you live. If you believe you can grow, you will. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. It's not magic, it's mindset. Life becomes what you tell yourself every single day. If you keep saying, "I'm not good enough," you'll act like you're not. If you keep saying, "I can't," you'll never even try. But when you start saying, "I can learn, I can improve, I can become stronger," that is when everything begins to shift. We care to always control what happens around us, but we can't always control how we think about it. Two people can go through the same struggle. One gives up, the other grows stronger. What made the difference? Not luck, not resources, but mindset. When you train your mind to see problems as lessons, you stop being afraid of failure. You start seeing failure as part of the process. And that's when you grow. That's when you take risks. Speak your truth. Show up for yourself. Not because everything is perfect, but because your mindset is prepared. There is power in believing that your future can be better than your past. That belief is what separates the person who keeps moving forward from the one who stays in fear. It doesn't mean you ignore your pain. It means you learn from it. You use it. You choose to rise, even when it's hard, because your mindset says, "I'm not done yet." Sometimes the people around you won't believe in you. Sometimes life will test you. Sometimes everything will feel too heavy. And in those moments, you will need your mindset the most. You will need that inner voice that says, "Even if it's hard, I will try." That's your power. That's your strength. Your reality begins with your thoughts. If you change your thoughts, you can change your life. Start telling yourself a better story. Not the one shaped by fear. Not the one written by your past. But the one where you take ownership. Where you choose growth over comfort. Where you rise after every fall. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is where you are willing to go. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. Your failures are moments, not your identity. Your fear is real, but so is your courage. You get to choose which one gets to lead. To start today, shift your focus. Catch your thoughts. Speak to yourself with love, with belief, with hope. Every time your mind says, "I can't," Respond with, I'm learning. Every time your thoughts say, I'm not enough, remind yourself, I'm growing. Because once your mindset changes, your life begins to change. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You begin, you become, you believe. We all love to feel motivated. That fire in the heart, that spark in the mind. It feels powerful. It makes us believe we can do anything. But let's be honest. Motivation doesn't last. It fades. Some days you wake up inspired and full of energy, but other days you don't even want to get out of bed. That's where most people stop. They wait to feel motivated again. And they keep waiting. But the truth is, you don't need to feel motivated every day. What you need is discipline. Because discipline is what keeps you going when motivation disappears. Discipline is that voice in your head that says, get up anyway. Try again anyway. You promised yourself. Don't break that promise. Discipline is not exciting. It's not loud. It doesn't cheer for you. But it builds the life you dream about. If you rely only on motivation, you will make progress only on good days. But if you rely on discipline, you'll make progress even on bad days. And that's what changes everything. Discipline means showing up even when no one is clapping, even when the results are slow, even when it feels boring or hard. Because deep inside, you know why you started. Some days you will feel tired. Some days your mind will whisper, let's skip today. It doesn't matter. But discipline reminds you that every single day matters. Each effort, each step, each choice is part of a bigger picture. Success is not one big moment. It's a series of small, disciplined actions repeated again and again. And I just want to go out there and say, if life isn't challenging you, then you aren't living. You aren't doing enough. You aren't following the rules. You aren't acting according to plans.